All right, it's Friday. We're not keeping track, but it's Friday. Chris McCusker joining us. Hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful, because it's Friday, and the banks celebrating this Friday, aren't they?
Certainly, and we're talking about Royal Bank in particular. Now, U.S. tax cuts kind of had a bit of an effect on the bank's bottom line. Still, though, beat on expectations as far as first quarter profits go. It also upped its dividend by 3 cents. So the bank reported net income of $3 billion. And CIBC beat earnings expectations and also raised its dividend yesterday. So these are the first two big banks to report earnings, and no pressure or anything. But Bank of Montreal and Scotiabank report Tuesday, National Bank on Wednesday, and then TD on Thursday.
All right, probably expecting some of the same.
Expecting would be the key word.
Okay. And big changes on the way for certain types of Airbnb listings, not all.
Yeah, and it's sort of interesting because it seems to me that some of this is coming into place because there are some people that go into these Airbnbs and maybe make a mess or create problems in the neighborhood. So they're going to start vetting the properties, and the short-term rental company is moving ahead with what it's calling a higher tier category, which means these properties will be inspected for things like cleanliness, design, comfort, and vetted and verified in person. So it's hoping to vet about 75,000 homes in 50 cities by the end of the year. It's not clear if there's going to be a cost for the renter on this, but this is one of several new categories for Airbnb, which also includes a vacation home, a boutique, a bed and breakfast unit, and a unique home. So Airbnb sort of rejigging things, I guess, for lack of a better term, to better serve the travelers out there.
Now imagine if you apply to put your place in one of them and they say, no, you don't do it. You don't pass.
Yeah, well, I guess that could happen now, absolutely.
Uh-oh,
yeah.
Get cleaning. Well, they were fighting in the grocery store aisles in France last month over Nutella. And you are tracking the fallout from the supermarket brouhaha, Donnybrook.
That is the best word, brouhaha. And we're hearing that the French supermarket chain, oh good, you've got the footage here, it's called Intermarché, and they might actually be fined for these heavy discounts. The government's competition and anti-fraud agency found that the company actually breached the rules, and the rules forbid retailers from selling products below their actual cost. So a judge is going to consider this case, decide whether or not a fine might be appropriate. It could be up to 375,000 euros, which is more than $580,000 Canadian. So maybe they made some money on the sale, and now they're going to have to give it back.
Wait for it. That's nuts. Okay, when it comes to driving, more Canadians are plugging in rather than tanking up. We can't be that surprised.
Yes, and Ontario in particular. We actually overtook Quebec in 2017 with the most number of electric vehicles purchased. So Ontario sales increased by 120% from 2016. That's coincidentally, or maybe not coincidentally, when the rebates increased. As well in Canada, overall, more than 18,000 electric cars were sold in Canada last year. That is a record, and a gain of 68% from 2016. So an estimated 48,000 electric vehicles now on the roads in Canada in total.
Nice. Starting to see more and more of them, and they're needed out there.
Absolutely.
Okay, Olympians, some of them at least going to turn their medals into some cash, not melting them down, though.
Yeah, and you can probably guess who was first on this list.
Oh, yeah. There you go. You ruined it. I was going to guess.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Moore and Virtue.
Yes. Now, I went to Dr. Katie LaBelle. She studies and teaches sports marketing at Ryerson University at the Ted Rogers School of Management. She explained to me that these two very likely to retire, so they're going to have some time on their hands. The world, it seems, fell in love with them after their performance at the Olympics. 2 gold medal wins at these games. So LaBelle also tells me these two are very thoughtful. They're very aware of the attention that they're getting, and they use that spotlight very wisely. So they're likely to turn up in commercials and such. Sponsorships are possible if they want them. And then LaBelle also suggested Mark McMorris, the snowboarder, might have some companies knocking on his door as well. Less than a year ago, This kid suffered some pretty serious injuries, including a broken jaw and a collapsed lung. So he battled back. He won a bronze at the Games in South Korea. So this is a very nice comeback story.
All right. Love hearing those. Chris, thanks very much.
Okay, have a good weekend.
Cheers.